Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something pretty fundamental, something that really touches every part of your life, personal money management. We've got this source material for our dive today, some really clear principles pulled from a YouTube video called The Art of Money Management. And our mission really is to cut through the noise, find those essential bits of wisdom, and, give you a potential shortcut to a stronger financial future. And the source makes this point right up front. It's not just about earning.
No, not at all.
The real skill, the art, is in saving. And then investing that money wisely.
Exactly.
Especially now, with costs going up. It's less about math, more about life balance.
That's a great way to put it. And the material, it jumps right into habits as the foundation. Saving is framed as, the critical first step.
Saving. Okay. But how does it make that feel less like, a chore?
It uses this nice analogy, actually. Describes it as planting a seed today for a, much more comfortable future.
Oh, okay.
So setting aside some income each month, that's presented as a gift you're giving your future self. And importantly, starting early really boosts that future security.
Right. The earlier, the better. But, okay, how do you even know how much you can save? Or where it's all going? I assume budgeting comes in here?
Precisely. The source talks about budgeting like becoming friends with your money.
Friends with your money.
Like any relationship needs honest conversation, right? So tracking income, tracking expenses, that helps you see the difference between real needs and just...
Well, the source calls them alluring wishes.
Alluring wishes. That captures it perfectly. It highlights that tension. And there was a visual for budgeting, too, wasn't there? Something about a map.
Yes. It calls budgeting giving ink to your dreams map.
Okay, that's powerful.
So it connects tracking your pennies directly to where you actually want to go in life. It's not just restriction.
Okay, this is crucial. The source then flags a major danger zone. What's the big trap?
Spending more than you earn. Simple as that, but so common.
The source is stark here. It warns people get stuck in an economic swamp. Things like credit cards, instant loans. They feel easy at first.
Too easy sometimes.
Right. But the material says they become chains that bind you through debt. The escape route. Financial discipline. It's the only way out of that swamp.
Chains. Economic swamp. Wow. Strong words. But life happens, right? Unexpected costs, job stuff. How does the source suggest preparing for those curveballs?
It does, and with another vivid phrase. It talks about the need for an emergency fund.
Right, the rainy day fund.
Exactly, but it calls it an umbrella for every storm.
Nice.
Because life is unpredictable. Job loss, health scares. This fund isn't for investing, it's your safety shield. It gives you peace of mind. And it gets specific. Aim for 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in that fund.
3 to 6 months. Okay, that's a clear target. So you're saving, you're budgeting, you've got the umbrella. What's next? Because saving alone isn't the whole picture, is it?
No, definitely not. The source is clear. Your money needs to grow. It has to work for you. It says money should be put where it can flourish to strengthen your future. It lists things like mutual funds, SIPs.
Let's quickly unpack SIP, systematic investment plans. That's like automated investing, right? Fixed amount, regular intervals.
Exactly that. Thanks. So SIPs, the stock market, gold, real estate, the usual suspects. But, and this is key, the source stresses needing correct information and, crucially, patience.
Right. It's not get rich quick.
Absolutely not. It's a long game.
Okay. And thinking about things that stop growth, debt comes up again. What's the advice on loans?
Take them only when truly necessary, like for a house or education. Big life assets.
Makes sense.
But the caution is strong. Every loan is a burden. The smart move, the wisdom, is paying it back ASAP to save on interest. Understanding interest rates before you sign anything is critical. Even small percentage differences add up massively over time.
Yeah, the compound interest works both ways.
For sure. The source mentions a financial warrior, someone who doesn't let debt control them.
A financial warrior. I like that framing. So this all sounds like knowledge you need to acquire. Does it talk about passing this on to kids, maybe?
It does. Big emphasis on teaching kids about money early. Calls it giving them life's greatest wealth. Simple things. Planned pocket money, encouraging them to save a little, helping them think about what they really need versus want. It builds self-reliance.
That makes sense. What about wider responsibilities? Taxes, for instance.
Yep, touches on taxes. Says paying them is a legal must and a civic duty, obviously.
Right.
But it also highlights using the tax benefits the government offers, opportunities hidden in home loans, health insurance, certain investments. You need to understand them to use them.
So be informed. And in today's world, Digital payments are everywhere. Any advice there?
Acknowledges the convenience, UPI, net banking, it's all instant.
Yeah, super convenient.
But pairs it with a big warning. Be safe, be balanced. Scams are a huge risk. Technology should empower you, not make you a target.
Good point. Let's loop back to something you said earlier, goals, dreams. The source connects money directly to those, right?
Very strongly. This is where money gets its real meaning, according to the source, when it's tied to a purpose.
Like what?
Examples like kids' education, buying a home, retirement, travel. Linking your savings and investments to these goals, that transforms money from just numbers into, well, the source calls it inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
That's a much more positive way to think about financial planning. It sounds like getting this right is less about spreadsheets and more about mindset.
Exactly that. The source calls money management a mental game. Needs wisdom, needs discipline.
Yeah.
It's presented as the foundation of success. Thinking correctly about money helps turn challenges into opportunities. Money isn't just earning. It's the tool to make your dreams happen.
Okay, let's zoom in on spending again. Beyond just the budget, how do we get better at the actual act of spending day to day?
It talks about smart spending. The core idea is asking yourself before you buy, is this a genuine need or just a pleasing desire?
Need versus pleasing desire.
Okay.
Smart spending offers long-term benefits, keeps the budget intact, makes saving possible, and avoiding impulse buys, often pushed by marketing, saves money and reduces stress.
Yeah, that makes sense. Less clutter, less worry.
Right. The source equates controlling expenses with self-discipline, staying within budget, avoiding waste. That's a sign of financial freedom.
And how do you keep tabs on it all? Make sure you're actually doing it.
Regular financial review. Simple as that. Check your income, your spending, your investments. It keeps you pointed in the right direction.
Like a monthly check-in.
Yeah, specifically suggests looking at your expenses at month end. See where the leaks are, where unnecessary spending happened. Calls it a habit that can work miracles.
Miracles. Okay. The source also mentions a credit score. What's the deal with that?
It's basically your financial reputation score.
Mm-hmm.
Shows how reliable you are with borrowing and repaying.
And why is that important? A good score helps you get loans more easily, and crucially, at better interest rates. Saves you money. Paying bills on time, managing debt well, that builds a good score.
Got it. So we talked about investing, putting money where it grows. Is there more strategy involved than just picking something?
Yes, a very important one. Diversification.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Precisely. The source warns against that. Putting everything in one place is risky. Spreading investments across different things, funds, deposits, stocks, gold makes your overall portfolio safer and potentially more profitable. It shows you understand investment risk.
This source seems really holistic. It even brings in self-education as part of money management.
It does. Positions continuous learning, reading, watching videos, seminars as your biggest help. The better you understand the money game, the easier it gets.
Learn more, do better.
Exactly. And it circles back to purpose, using money for family, social good, dreams. That's what makes life meaningful.
It also talks about protecting what you've built, right?
Yes.
And maybe looking beyond yourself.
Definitely. Protecting your wealth from theft, fraud, bad investments. Waste is presented as maybe even more important than earning it.
Wow, more important.
That's the emphasis, which highlights needing the right insurance, legal documents, things like that. And yes, it includes social responsibility, charity, helping others. Says it adds value to your wealth, turns financial success into social respect.
That's a nice touch. And finally, there was one last connection the source made. Something we always feel short on.
Time. It explicitly states that managing time well alongside money is essential.
How so?
Making the right financial decisions at the right time helps you reach goals faster. Delaying, procrastinating, that can cause real loss. It's urging you to value your time.
Okay, so we've really dug deep here. From basic saving and budgeting habits.
Right. Through investing, tackling debt.
Planning for emergencies, teaching kids, even mindset and taxes.
And smart spending, diversification, protecting wealth.
It's a comprehensive picture.
Absolutely. The source frames money management as this essential life skill, almost an art, really, something that brings stability and happiness when you get it right. It's all about conscious decisions, control, and making sure your money lines up with your goals and values.
Yeah, it's clearly not just about piling up cash. It's about using money as a tool to build the life you want, to feel self-reliant.
So, reflecting on all of this, what's the one thing that really sticks with you?
I think those vivid images, the economic swamp, the umbrella for every storm, giving ink to your dreams map, They make abstract concepts really concrete.
Yeah, they do. And the core message seems to be that real financial strength comes from those small, consistent daily actions. Discipline over the long haul.
Right. So maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on after this deep dive. If financial discipline is the real strength, like the source says, and understanding interest is key, how might changing your approach to even your smallest debt right now, really understanding how that interest works against you, how might tackling that start to shift your whole relationship with money and boost your sense of freedom?